What is up, YouTube? Today we are going to be talking about Bitcoin and the recent price action. So let's get right into this. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in today. It's going to be a really awesome one discussing the recent price moves in Bitcoin. And we have broken well above the support level at 6,100 or about 6,200 actually, and really pushed all the way up to this next resistance level at 82. Everybody's wondering, oh no, is this price action done? Should I be buying now and trying to sell at a higher price? Or if you bought down here when I was saying that Bitcoin was undervalued again, you're probably wondering whether you should be taking profits or not. So really, my personal view on this is that you should stay big picture. I know that it's really, really exciting to have a price move like this. And since the low that we really formed last year in 2018, Bitcoin has done over 150% upside. And it's easy to be like, oh, what's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next month? But what you should really be thinking about was what's going to happen 6 months, a year, or even a couple of years down the road with Bitcoin, and not getting so worried about this little move right here, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. A real investor, somebody that's a little bit more educated on what to do in this type of a situation, would be looking at this market as returning to its trend, meaning that we did a huge run all the way up from 2015 into 2017 and the beginning of 2018 with Bitcoin and a lot of the altcoins. And this looks like the beginning of a return to that trend. So an intelligent investor is going to be looking for places to add on to their long-term portfolios and really prepare for the bigger cycle that's coming. And they're not going to be worried about where the top of this move is, whether we top out on the short term at 83 and then go back to support like this and then keep pushing higher, or whether the market just continues on this parabolic trend line and keeps pushing higher. Honestly, the rate of growth has really only started to get extremely parabolic once we broke that resistance level at 6,200. And it's easy to see that because all through this area right here, let's just take our time frame tool here and we'll go to 12-hour, which is one of my favorite time frames. All of this area right here, we had a very consistent, steady growth. I mean, it was just moving in an upward channel, but that channel wasn't too steep. It was very steady, and then it only started to get parabolic when we just pushed right through this horizontal resistance and then pushed right through this horizontal resistance that used to be support in the last year cycle. So there's a lot of momentum here in Bitcoin. I'm not just going to be quick to say that this is the top of this move by any means. And thinking in terms of where is the top of each little swing isn't really the best way to play it. The best way to play it is to be wondering what's going to happen in the long term, and whatever the short-term price action does gives you either more or less opportunities for that long-term trend. So what I mean by that is if it just goes parabolic right here, even higher, maybe even goes to like 10,000 per coin like this, and then it rejects again and then pushes higher, you're going to be aiming to buy a healthy correction. I would like for it to correct a little bit sooner than 10K. It would be nice if we could go up to maybe 95 or just above where we're at and do a little correction where we curl down like this and go higher. That would be optimal. But if we keep going parabolic and go to 10K and then everybody starts FOMOing, everybody that didn't buy the dip when everybody was scared down here, you're going to get a lot of people buying at the wrong spot just because they're scared that they're going to miss out on the gains. And so really the best thing to do in this type of a situation is to wait for the pullback. Don't anticipate the pullback, meaning don't try to pick exactly where the top of this is, especially if you aren't in this market right now. Just wait for it to drop. Once it happens, then you're like, oh, we just had a 25% drop, 30% drop. And then you take the opportunity to not be like everybody else and panic because they all bought in this huge FOMO wick up here. And they're all going to panic once the price drops because they bought too high. And you can be intelligent and be adding on to long-term positions, seeing a really, really, really good dip buy scenario. So This is the falling wedge that I posted on my Twitter months ago, you guys. So if you follow me on Twitter, then you know that we've been watching this move for Bitcoin for a while now. And I also pointed out in a previous video, I believe, that we are doing a WXYXZ correction. So that basically just means WXYXZ. And that Z point is where the bottom of the wedge formed as well. And we can go over to my Twitter and check out exactly what I was showing you here. There's a lot of posts on Twitter right now, which is really exciting. Everybody's getting super hyped about the markets in general. And that's kind of to be expected when you get a move like this. But you guys, this was the chart that I posted. And this was actually back March 12th when we posted this on my Twitter and publicly on my TradingView chart. And it's that falling wedge, and we were watching for the breakout. So this is a really, really nice kind of example when you get into the market when nobody wants to, because everybody was expecting 3K, 1K, these really, 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 really low levels. And you just count your waves, see what's logical, and take your positions based on that. You know, there's a cup and handle, an ascending triangle, and a falling wedge pattern. There's just so many things in confluence for an entry, and everybody was scared of Bitcoin completely. So that's really kind of my thinking behind this trade right here and this analysis. And then also just an example of how Elliott waves can work very well in these types of corrections. And when you get a support failure and you have to adjust your wave count, you know, we were looking at this as a WXY correction before 5,900 failed. Who cares? Sometimes you have to change your perspective a little bit to get the one that really matters. And this was the one that really matters. So you guys, congratulations to anybody that has been riding this move here. Let's just go ahead and pull up the coin signals chart here so we can check out the total market cap before I go. And you can probably hear in my voice it's a little bit lower right now, and honestly I've been pretty sick for the past couple of weeks, so for everybody that's kind of wondering where I vanished off to, it was mainly sleeping and trying to recover from that. So all right, let's pull up the total market cap here. And tomorrow will be the weekend as well, so that means that, or the beginning of the weekend, Friday, at least that's when I consider the beginning of the weekend because it's the last actual work day. That's probably not technically correct, but that's really a good time to be watching the crypto markets because there's a lot more activity I've noticed over the weekends, and it kind of happens on Monday as well. Because the crypto markets, a lot of stock traders that can't trade stocks during the weekend because the stock market closes down, they're like, oh, well, I can move over to crypto and do some trading in the crypto markets over the weekend as well. So that's kind of what I've been thinking. So the total market cap here is moving very nicely up to 250 billion per coin. We have increasing price, or total market cap, capitalization, I mean, not per coin. We have increasing price and we have increasing volume, which is generally a really good sign. We did have that cup and handle play out that we were all watching, and I made a little video about right here. And then we formed a little bull flag pattern right here where we pushed significantly above. There was some bearish divergence right here, but it just had so much momentum. It just did not care that there was bearish divergence. It was like, screw this, I'm gonna keep pushing higher. And that's what happens when things are really, really oversold like that. And then we've gotten way over the resistance level right here at 239. And we are starting to kind of meet these bigger resistance levels, 255, 233. So those are the kind of big areas that we're watching right now. That 255 level was in fact tested currently. So, you know, like I said, I'm not trying to pick the top of what's going on here at all. In fact, I'm looking to buy any dips that occur. And a dip occurs, I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to get scared. I'm just going to think logically about this and enter, because any kind of a drop in price at these levels, we still have a very nice maintained uptrend that we've been making all through 2019. So I hope that this gives you guys some perspective on what has been going on with Bitcoin and some of the rest of the coins here with the total market cap. I am watching Ethereum pretty closely, you guys, and Ripple pretty closely. If we do get a little bit of a dip, those are great altcoins to be kind of looking to play right now, and I am excited to keep you guys updated as I go, and we'll catch up with you guys soon. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay profitable out there.